Welcome back, folks. Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. On today's show, we have Reid from the Edison Report, our old friend. That's right. He came on. We went down to see him in Tennessee to his office, and we hung out with him, and we had dinner, and we talked about the lighting industry. Big surprise. We couldn't stop talking about it. Greg, what'd you think? It was fun down there in Tennessee.
I thought it was great. We should have had a camera rolling the whole time, but that would have been a long episode.
That would have been a video blog or whatever they call that. This episode of the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast is brought to you by Kurtzon Lighting. Go to KURTZON.com, maybe Kurtzon.com. Specification grade, Greg.
That's right. They have products for a lot of different applications, and now they even have an LED retrofit kit for their fixtures. As we've talked about in previous podcasts that they've sponsored, their product is unique. And it's something that not everybody has. So how do you retrofit it? Let's say you have a Kurtzon fixture that you installed several years ago in fluorescent. Now you want to make it LED. They have LED retrofit kits for their surface, flange, and grid mount troughers. And those are a real high moving volume fixture for them. So what do? They give you a nice retrofit kit that fits right in, uses the existing mechanical hardware that's already in there, improves the luminary efficiency, and extends the lifetime of the fixture. Good option for you.
Specification grade, go to Kurtzon.com. That's KURTZON.com, baby. You know, Greg, over 100 years, they're the American champ, I'd say.
They are, and it's important to have that right now. More than ever, we need that.
We do. Yep. So American made, the American champ, Kurtzon.com. Of course, every episode of this show is brought to you by the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors. Go to NAILD.org to join us, Greg and Mike, and the rest of the crew from NAILD. And finally, I'm putting out my own show, the Get a Grip on Life podcast. Don't forget, go to getagriponlife.com. That's right. If you love me, if you love to hate me, check it out. Write me a review on iTunes. But for right now, let's listen to Reid of the Edison Report on the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast. All right. So, Reid, we're back, and we're doing a couple shows here with you today. And what's going on? You know what, Greg? Why don't you start this one off with Randy?
Really, what I want to, you can look at me this time. It's just kind of see what the trends in the industry. One of the things I'm seeing a lot of, and we've talked a lot about, is consolidation. But now more than ever, I feel like it's here finally. Like in the past, I would look at manufacturers who had product that, maybe it was a good price, and I would say, okay, they're a little better price, so I'm probably going to roll that way. But now I'm looking at it and saying, are they going to be around?
Okay.
And it's really making a difference in my purchasing decisions and what I'm selling ultimately to customers. Are these people that we're buying from going to be around? Because what I'm seeing, a lot of it from your reporting, is companies that are either going away or getting bought out, and some that are getting bought out turn out to be good things, and they get more investment and they can grow from that. But others are just going away. And just
Global Tech LED is one we reported this week. I can't confirm that they're going away.
And I've bought product from them.
Okay.
So, when I saw that, I'm like, I got to be done.
I can confirm that the number on their website is disconnected or no longer in service. Yes. Goodbye. That's what it says. Disconnected, no longer in service. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I've talked to their CEO through LinkedIn, and I asked him if he was trying to sell the company, and he says nothing is final. That's it.
Are they selling, or are they shutting down, or what?
We don't know.
Nobody knows.
We don't know,
right?
but when your phone number is disconnected,
yeah,
that's usually a pretty good sign that things are not going well.
Right. And do you see that as more and more of a trend? Are we finally catching up, especially with the tariffs now too? Are we catching up to the point where these companies that came in while it was hot, trying to take advantage of it, and did for the most part, right, and now it's over for them?
Tariffs can be our friend.
That's what it sounds like to me too.
Tariffs can be our friend. We're able to get a price increase, my company Lumefficient, and our price increase is higher than the actual tariff.
Right.
And we're implementing it slightly before we're having to pay for the tariffs, as are other companies.
We're finding that.
So we are, the tariffs are helping us, and I do think that you will see it will help the consolidation, and it will help get companies out of the business who probably shouldn't be in our business.
So consolidation is generally a good thing in lighting.
Oh, absolutely.
Too many people came into lighting.
I agree.
Too many people, too fast.
Dyson, 3M. They were just like everybody was.
And you're talking about names that people have heard of.
Right. Sure.
Dyson, 3M.
Sure.
There are hundreds that we've never heard of.
Sure, exactly. It was like, hey, everybody, everybody jump on the lighting grenade and get blown up, blow up some money for a bit.
And then they
It was
realized that the margins aren't here, and the margins have just been steadily declining.
Yeah.
And so a lot of companies are asking, why did we get in it, and are we going to stay in it?
I remember the one of the guys. Remember Toshiba jumped into lighting for a bit
absolutely.
back in 2013-14. They made a big splash.
Yeah.
Right. And my neighbor I'm in a plaza like you where there's
Okay.
multiple medium-sized, small to medium-sized industrial companies that are doing their thing. And next door to me is the Canadian Toshiba distributor. He walks into my office like Conor McGregor, swinging his arms around like this. He's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to start selling lighting or not.
Well, that didn't last long, did it?
I just laughed at him. He's like, yeah, Toshiba approached me about stocking lamps, and I told him I'd have to talk to you. I said, you know what, buddy? Sell as many as you want to, bro. Go for it. Right? Guess what? Toshiba is gone.
So think about this. Sylvania is no longer owned by Siemens.
Or Osram.
Or owned by Osram, right? They're owned by MLS out of China.
Sure.
Which is a good company. Philips was spun off by Philips Lighting was spun off by Philips.
Mm-hmm.
It's now called Signify. And then
Is
last
it
week,
so wholly owned by Philips, the Crown Corporation?
excuse me. Yeah, I think it might be about 80% spun off. Philips still owns some of it, I believe, but they're sure not the majority. It may only be 10 or 20%.
Sure. Like part of the reason this podcast exists is because of that. The fact that Greg and I stepped into this void and started this show, and people listened to it.
But you created a demand.
No, the demand was there. Okay. It's like, it's one of those history things. The great men make history, or the history make men great, or whatever it is. Whatever. We stepped into the void. We started talking about it.
And you're the go-to podcast now for anything with lighting.
Yes, for sure. I would say. I'm going to disagree with you, but I mean, listen, I wouldn't listen to anybody else's podcast but mine.
There you go.
On lighting. Would you? I mean, I don't know. And Greg's.
It's the only one I listen to,
So, here's the thing. We're sitting back. We're stepping back. Is this a national security issue for the United States?
Well, when Lumileds tried to sell to the Chinese, the government came in and stopped it because of national security. And I don't understand all of it, but in making an LED, some of the technology used is not an awful lot different from making military lasers.
Mm.
And so the U.S. government did not want that sale to happen.
This goes back to the lighting business really becoming a conduit for intelligence gathering. We're back to Li-Fi again, but it goes to these situations. How fast is the lighting, the visual light component of it, going to be commoditized unless we figure out the health effects side?
Okay, so it is commoditized, right? I mean, I hate to admit
Agree.
many of the lighting products are commoditized.
That's why I appendix it with the
and this
question.
is why we sell heavy industrial, IP65, hazardous location, Class 1, Division 2, because it's not nearly as commoditized as the...
2x4 trough.
Exactly. 2x4 lay-in. So that's why we stay out of that, but for the most part it has been commoditized. So this is why we look for things that are different, unique features and benefits, so we can sell and make a little bit of money.
So the lighting industry has three problems. It has a connectivity problem through Li-Fi, or like a sales cycle. Greg, come into this with me. Then you have the health effects, and then you have Internet of Things. Like, what the hell is Atlas Lighting going to do with this thing, dude? What's Premier Lighting going to do with that?
That's what we're trying to figure out right now. And I kind of want to touch on your point of lighting. You're saying lighting is a commodity. So,
General lighting.
Yep. And in a market like that, and it kind of goes back to my first point, when it's a commodity, you just look for the lowest price?
Well...
Yes, a commodity is sold. There's no lowest price for a commodity. A commodity sells for what the market tells it to sell at.
Okay. But there are different prices in lighting.
But this is why we have to have features and benefits and find people that are willing to pay for those features and benefits.
Otherwise, there's no
Right?
point.
So Zach, I'm headed to New York tomorrow, and I'm meeting with lighting designers Thursday and Friday and showing them the one-way Li-Fi. They've never seen it before. hopefully they'll buy it from me. I'll make a very nice margin. Now, at some point, many companies will get in and they'll begin to drive the pricing lower. But right now, there are good opportunities. Back to your safety and security thing. We ran an article the other day about a new company we didn't know. I think it's called Cowboy Streetlights.
I just read something about they're putting lights in for DEA.
Yeah, they're not putting them in, they're hiding them.
Hiding them.
Okay,
Yes.
many companies have lights on the poles.
So hang on,
the
DEA
cameras.
is the Department of what? Of Defense? The DEA? What's the DEA?
Drug enforcement agency.
Drug enforcement
Yes,
agency.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
DEA, maybe
So
ICE.
are they still chasing down guys for bags of weed, or are they going after
No,
drugs?
no,
don't
we
think
don't
they
do
do.
that anymore.
Yeah.
We pretty much allow that. And that's why you can walk in almost any city and you can just smell the pot
Oh,
everywhere.
jeez. Okay, let's not go down this road.
Okay, just. But street light, cowboy street lights,
Yep.
and they hide it in the luminaires.
Yeah.
So it's a light that's a camera? What is it?
Well, it's a Cobra head. A
So
street
that's
light,
the Matrix,
street light,
brother.
but it's got a hidden camera.
Back to the Matrix again.
Almost
We're
every
trying to
camera out there,
avoid
you
the
can at
Matrix.
least see it. These are hidden in the street lights, so you don't know there's a camera.
Yeah, but the reality is that the light is going to be the camera. The light is going to be the camera. Greg, get me away from the Matrix again before I go crazy.
You're all
please.
over it. No, just in general. Then, do you think if you were gonna, you're not really in our shoes as much, where you're buying from a manufacturer and selling it to an
So
end
we
user?
would be buying from Randy Reid and selling to the end.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you were in our shoes, try to
Yes.
put yourself there. Would you have any trust in who would you trust in lighting right now? What would you look for who
I
to
would
buy
look
from?
for companies with a track record.
Okay.
I would look. So okay, Signify. They've been spun off, right? Hey, it's a hell of a company.
Yep.
Okay. GE Current. It's going to be a separate company. It'll be a great company. Okay. So I would sure stick with Acuity, Hubble. I would sure stick with these types of companies that have been around.
Yeah. That's where I'm at, and that kind of goes back to the original point: is that maybe it is good for the lighting industry as a whole. At least the manufacturers that have been around for the long term is, there's some people that came in for a couple of years, took some business away, but I think they're going to start going away again, and we're going to go back to how it used to be.
I think if once the rebate dinosaur begins to become extinct,
Yeah.
Which is happening.
yes,
Rebates are less and less important.
Like the dinosaur is becoming extinct. It's already a dinosaur. I mean, like so much a part of my business is rebate applications, and I look at it and I'm like, how gross is this rebate thing? So gross. It's such a Bob and Rude scheme. Even though,
Right.
what's his name came on the show a couple weeks ago.
Dan Mellinger.
Dan Mellinger came on and explained that, well, no, there's different tiers, and the business only. It's like, I don't like the idea of it's so anti-American rebates actually, and anti-Canadian really, to take money from people without them knowing, give it to people without because they chose a certain technology or they filled out this application or whatever. I don't like it at all. Although I've made a lot of money with rebates, so everybody
You all
having a
have.
ride, it's been a good ride, but with the whole rebate thing, and I'm ready for no rebates actually. I'm ready to watch all those guys around me go bankrupt, and maybe I'll ride that wave too, and I'll surf down low. Maybe I'll be in trouble for a bit, but if there's anybody that's gonna come out of the ashes,
Right.
it'll be me.
Let's sell product based on what it's worth.
Yeah.
Not based on what a
Yeah.
rebate.
Or the DLC tells us this is good, this is bad. How many mistakes have those guys made, Randy? I mean, I love them. Don't get me wrong. They come in the show, good guys, good people.
They are good people. They are good people. There are parts of their business practices that I support, and there are parts that I don't.
Well, the one I don't support is like the fact that, they've made a lot of their fixtures that were DLC certified are failing, and the DLC has no responsibility on that at all. That's not how the United Underwriters Laboratory works.
You're talking defectives? and things?
Yeah, no, we don't certify the seal,
Right.
but the consumer bought DLC.
Right.
Right. It is a. I mean, even specs in other countries where there is no DLC and there is no rebate, some of the specs will say must be DLC.
Well,
Now, isn't that crazy? That's
Yeah,
how
okay,
strong
even-
they've become.
You know what's hilarious? Even countries that are not the United States use the U.S. dollar. Isn't that weird? Like you go to Africa, you hand them $100 US, they take it, brother.
So do you
I
guys,
pull out my hosers and they don't take it. They don't take it.
do you guys see a defective nightmare coming?
Yes,
I'm
it's already here.
feeling it, man.
It's already here.
I think people are. There's so many LED products that are sold, and a lot of it's new construction, and a lot of it's retrofit too. But a lot of this new construction, I was just in a school, for example, and they had a fixture that was 2 years old, and they needed a driver, and they called me. Took me about 5 phone calls, emails to figure out what driver they needed. Then I figure out the driver, and I get it to them at $60 or whatever, something crazy for a driver. And the whole time, this should have been covered under warranty. I told them to ask.
And why isn't it?
Well, I told them to ask their contractor, and their contractor said, "Oh no, that's a 1 year deal."
No, see the contractor. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
The contractor doesn't give a rat's ass.
Exactly.
Okay, like he's like, I got paid. I only made 5 points on that $1 million deal. I worked my ass off. I made 50 grand.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I bid it.
They can figure it out. is
Yeah,
what he's
they,
thinking.
screw them.
Yes.
Oh.
Call the sales agent. The sales agent's bankrupt.
And
He left North Dakota last year. He's not there anymore. Right? And whatever, dude. Nobody cares.
Distributors are in the worst position because people
Right.
count on us. Contractors can come and go, but a distributor is someone who actually sold it to
Manufacturers
you.
can come and go.
And they can too, and so can distributors. But if
And
you
we're
want
also-
to be around and you want to service your customer, you got to be able to honor
so
that.
why-
This is such a great opportunity. It's the opposite. This is the ultimate opportunity. I can't wait to all those guys that I didn't sell LEDs 5 years ago, and I just said, all I'm going to do is recycle the bulbs. You know I said that.
Yeah.
I started a lamp recycling company, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm like, I don't want to sell this shit because I didn't like it. I was like you, flipping the bird at LED. I hated it. I didn't like it. I smelled a rat. And anyway, so I can't wait till all this stuff starts burning out.
But the rats are gone. I think the stuff's
No, but
pretty
their
good
stuff
quality.
is still lit up.
Isn't it pretty good quality now? I don't hear a failure.
I don't
like
know.
I
The
did early
new
on.
stuff
No.
is definitely, but
No.
like the earlier
There's-
stuff is
I mean,
not.
even
Dude,
the cheap
there's gonna
Chinese
be whole.
stuff that
There's
I
gonna
don't
be
like.
whole. There's gonna be whole municipalities that have to replace all their streetlights. It's gonna be awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I don't know.
The
if
next
I
5 years,
All right,
it's gonna be the most profitable years for guys who actually know lighting.
As long as you didn't sell it to them.
Exactly. Hey, bro. Guess what? I'm not into that vibe. But the problem is there's no way to fix. There's like, so my path to work was retrofitted to LED like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I was flipping the bird at it and like
Right.
this sort of stuff. And guess what? There's so many burnouts on the road. And I'm flipping the bird at the burnouts. So I'm glad I didn't jump on that, man. Glad.
Because
Because I'm
I
still
don't
around.
see the burnouts. When I travel, I don't see the burned out streetlights that are LED.
When did Tennessee start to switch over?
Well, I mean, I travel all over. So Tennessee is
I see
slow
it.
because
On my
of our low
commute,
energy
I
rates.
see tons. Only on my commute.
Is it a Canada thing?
No. It's the commute I know where I know all the lights along the way. So every third or every fourth or fifth one is out. I notice it right away. I'm like, that one's out. Suck up.
We do hear of failures. We do hear of failures. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's
But
about, dude, the tipping point. So here, this is what
Okay.
I've always told everybody, Randy. This is what I told everybody. When you group relamp, you turn your light bulb into a bag of microwave popcorn. You'll say, what are you talking about, Colligan?
You're talking
No.
about induction with micro.
No. Mike, no. I'm talking about burnouts.
Okay.
So, you know when you put the bag of popcorn in the microwave and you push 5 minutes?
Okay.
And nothing happens for 2 minutes,
Right. I get that.
right?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden you hear pop,
Okay.
pop,
I got you. That's a great analogy.
pop, pop, and then all of a sudden,
Okay. I've never heard that analogy with lighting.
Right.
Ah.
lighting is like a bag of microwave popcorn. We're about to hit the 3 minute mark, bro, and everything's gonna go down. All we're seeing is that pop, pop,
Right.
pop, pop. All of a sudden it's gonna go pop, 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 and then at the end, a couple years from now, it's gonna be like pop, pop, but everything's gonna be burned in the bag, bro. You left it in the microwave too long, son.
Do you believe that?
I honestly do. I mean, I think that's where it's.
So are you
eventually
seeing
gonna
defects on your job that you're selling?
Not on the jobs I'm selling.
Not my jobs.
No, there are some here and there. There actually are some, and from legitimate manufacturers.
And they step up and they take care of it?
Typically, but it's a lot of legwork on our end. And we have an employee that we have do 25% of their job is processing defective.
Wow.
It's a lot for
Wow.
somebody who's trying to sell light bulbs every day. We don't want to mess with that stuff.
I have a guy that spends now. Actually, I was late because I waited about a year and a half after Greg. I have a guy that spends about 15-20% of his day filling out crappy forms for manufacturers.
Yeah. So
your 4-foot tubes went. Oh no, what's the lumino? It's just like no, dude. They're gone.
But
so maybe tubes, maybe corn cobs.
The fixtures are the worst. The purpose-built fixtures are the worst.
even fixtures, like you think at some point, if you sold it all at once, in 10 years or 15 years, they are going to go out. And then at that point, who knows what will be out there, but it's something that, I don't think a lot of people realize with LED in general. They think that everything's going to last forever. And they get mad at you if it burns out after like 7 years or whatever.
No, there's no 7 years. That Listen, we raised the dark curtain. We're going to get to warranties. It might be a separate episode. This might be 3 shots with us. But look, the bottom line is this, is that we're just, this is like the entire United States just did a group relamp 3.5 years ago.
Okay. So it's coming.
Yeah. And some people got the 50,000 hour T8, and some people got the 20,000 hour T8, and some people got the 30,000 hour T8. But you know what, bro? It's about to go. And you know what? Everyone's going to turn around and say, where's my warranty? And there's going to be a hell of a lot of consolidation then. Right
So
here.
2 years ago, we sold tubes. We had some tubes, and we sold tubes. And my last sale, I went over with the PowerPoint, and I had the tube and the price. Instead of the price, I had NYOP. And the guy says,
Name your own.
What? Name your own price, because I want to get rid of this shit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I sold, I don't know how many thousands at $1. At $1.
Woo.
Just to get rid of them.
$1.
Just to get rid of them. And you can't make any money with tubes.
No.
It's no win. We really believe in putting in the fixture. Put in a new clean fixture. Do it the right way.
So when you have a new fixture and something burns out, it's usually the driver.
It's usually the driver.
And I just went into a job that I had the other day that the customer was looking at a cut sheet that said the L70 is 150,000 hours, and my cut sheet said it's a 50,000 hour life. Okay, the L70 is of the chip, not of the driver.
Right.
So they're both 5-year warranties. And I think that's some of the gimmicks that are going on in lighting, definitely. And so do you think that somebody who has an L70 of 150,000 hours, if their driver goes out after 50, they just put a new driver in and
No.
let that LED chipboard run?
No.
Put a new fixture in.
Put a new fixture.
Your new fixture, okay?
That's what I prefer. Let's get a whole new fixture and just start over
With Wi-Fi.
with Wi-Fi. You'll be higher efficiency.
Yeah.
Get a whole new fixture.
Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
And we do have the occasional defect. We do. And we give a 7-year warranty. And so we're just going to send a new fixture.
Are people going to justify, though, 6 years from now, after the warranty is over, that they have to spend another, we don't know what the price is going to be, but say they bought the fixture for $150, are they going to have to spend another $100 to get a replacement?
Well, first of all, my warranty is 7 years, so they're going to get it for
I'm not
free.
picking your fixture. but
Okay.
We're talking
So
about,
you're talking about a 5-year warranty, and now it's 6. They're paid $150. Honestly, the way
see
electronic
how
prices
that-
are dropping,
Yeah.
they'll pay $40 or $50,
and they'll be fine
For a
with that.
fixture?
and it'll be less expensive.
Versus paying
I mean, they used to pay
$3 for
they
a
used to pay,
fluorescent bulb.
No. Well, you're talking about fluorescent. I'm
I know.
kind of talking about HID, where they used to pay $40 and $50 for a bulb every 2 or 3 years.
Okay, but if they had fluorescent, they only paid 3 or 4.
Okay, they paid 3 or 4.
So it's a tough.
So no, but these fluorescent. Wait. No, because you put in a flat panel, and I was at the Hong Kong Light Fair 3 weeks ago, and these panels you can pick up today in China under $20.
Right.
Yeah, we were there in
can make it for
2014. And we were already seeing like $23 US a
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah.
It was getting low.
Yeah.
So I looked at it and I thought, this is like, these ones go to Africa and these ones go to America. And I was looking at it and I'm like, it's not that
But
long.
the people that invest in LED, even if it dies the day the warranty is up, I think they're still far better off because of all the energy that they've saved. They've had a better quality of light. They've saved 75% energy. They've had zero maintenance for 5 years.
Yeah.
And in 5 years, they're going to buy a more efficient fixture, and it's going to be far less expensive.
But we also sell lighting every day, and most people don't care about their lighting until they have to, and then they get pissed off about it.
Can I give a story?
Please.
Oh, okay. So in 2013, I upgraded these people to, one of my employees, but anyway, they have 21 400-watt metal halogens.
Got it.
Okay. So they swap it out. It's like maybe an 18-foot ceiling.
Okay.
They swap it out to 8-lamp T8 highlight
Nice.
output back in 2013.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. Nice big rebate. The 36 watts a tube, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Just bamming it out. And then they, whatever reason, we had these tubes that were burning out for them, right? So they call up the office, and I said, you know what, this is 2015, so guy didn't know what to do with it, lands on my desk. This customer's pissed off, they got a bunch of light bulbs out, they don't know what to do. So they got the maintenance guy calling me, I just called the president. I said, your lights are out in the factory, you got 21 lights. He said, yeah, everyone's pissed. I said, you have two options, okay? You can change I'll give you a bunch of free fluorescent tubes. It's been 4 years, or whatever it is, 3 years since you did it. And the tubes are under warranty. I'll give you all free tubes. Or you can take that as a credit against LED tubes, put it in all LED tubes, and you'll get a rebate. And you can do it that way. Right? So he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll do the LED thing. Right? So we send them to 21 fixtures. I don't know, what's 21 times 8? You do the math. I did the math earlier.
168.
Right, there you go. So it's not a big deal. Everybody wins. Happy, right? So all of a sudden, fall back rolls around, right? You know, fall back? Fall back's my favorite day of the year because everyone's on time and everyone's had an extra hour to sleep.
Okay.
Favorite day of the year. Better than Christmas, Easter, my birthday. I'll take fall back. No one is late on fall back.
Unless you live in Arizona or Indiana or somewhere.
Wherever there's no fall back. So anyway, fall back hits in and we always get a ton of calls, right? Lights are out, outdoor lights are out, right? So we get a call from this company 2.5 years later. And you know those lights you changed 6 months ago? I'm like, okay, whatever. The president calls me back 2.5 years later or whatever it was, 2015, 3 years later. You know those lights you changed that last summer? Like, okay, yeah, I remember you, but I don't remember if it was last summer or not. And the guy's like, yeah, they're all dim. They're all dull now.
Dim?
Yeah. So I said to the guy, well, tell me all about the problem and all this sort of stuff. And it turns out that lighting is so personal. As soon as someone from a competitor walked in, pulled out a light meter, said he didn't like LED T8 tubes, he should have put in a new fixture, this kind of thing, right? And started everybody negative. He's like, all of a sudden the light's not enough. And he thought it was last year. And it turned out that we changed the T8 tubes in 2015. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just because of fall back, and now it's darker at 4 o'clock,
Right.
and the light is not coming in from the street, everybody's pissed off. Who's the guy that changed those lights?
Right.
It's Colligan.
Yeah.
Get him up here. I've never even been to this place in my life. And so the problem is, like, with people, lighting is so much about individual perception. People can see the light, my friend.
Right.
They can see it.
For sure. We've had a lot of jobs where, somebody says, well, it's not as bright as it used to be and things, and then you prove it to them and they're like, it's still not as bright as it used to be. Okay.
Well, but our eyes age.
Yeah,
as
true.
well.
And that's what it comes down to, and it's crazy. That's one of the downfalls of lighting, though, too.
I told them this. I said, look, we'll do 3 things. I'll do 3 fixtures for you. They're all like, I had 4 people at this factory, like the forklift driver, the warehouse manager, the purchaser, and the president. They're all grilling me. For sure it was last summer. Actually, I just checked. Here's your invoice. It was 2015.
Right.
No, it was last summer. Okay, it was last summer. What's next?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah, the light level was way more when you originally did it. I said, okay, we'll do 3 fixtures. We'll put one with T5HO LEDs, one with T8 19 watt or whatever the hell it is, and one with what you have. And it was and a long story short is that lighting is very personal, dude.
Right. I do agree with that.
It's all about personalizing lighting. We've talked about that before. If you can ever get to the point where maybe Li-Fi type technology or something like that can do it, you need your own light. Everybody needs their own light fixture to be able to do whatever they want it to do. Kelvin temperature, light output.
Right.
Let's get to that point.
Boom.
We're there. The technology exists today.
Yeah.
Color tuning.
Gotta
But
pay
how
for
do
it.
you put the whole thing together in the field for $50 a day?
We don't want to do $50. We want to do $150.
That's what it is.
So we all make money.
That's
But you want to be able to sell it at the same time. You want people to actually buy it,
Right.
and it doesn't always happen that way. So, if we can get there, though, that's where lighting can really be the benefit in the future. Everybody needs their own floating light, and if we can ever do that, it'll make sense.
You think so? I don't know if
I do.
everybody does need it.
They do.
I think they need the option to have it.
That's exactly what I mean by that. They need the capability of their light above them to do what they want it to do, if they want it to do something
Like the
different.
one in, so for example, 1% of people will like or dislike a video on YouTube.
Okay.
I think it's like probably it's 1%. So you look at someone like ups or downs on YouTube,
Right.
it's always like 1% of the total views.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay,
Thought of
it's
that.
1%, right? So people that click on the whatever, and so like how many people actually want to tune their lighting? Who knows?
So look, I've got the Philips Hue all throughout my home.
Mhm.
I was the early adopter, one of the first ones. They were gracious enough to send several
We've
to
never
me.
used it to its capability.
I haven't changed color in probably a year.
Exactly. I just did color tuning at my
Okay.
office, and I haven't touched it since it was installed.
Yep. I haven't changed the colors in probably a year. I do, change the light.
You have the
output.
capability, so you feel good about it. So
I
that you
do,
can
and it was
do
cool to show my neighbors when I first got it. Look what I can do
Yep.
that you can't do. But now, it's a novelty. Like,
Right.
I think that's a good point to close it out at.
okay, let's close out. Let's go eat.
Boom!
Kurtzon.com, Greg, KURTZON.com, over 100 years in business.
And they make specification grade lighting. And now they even have retrofit kits for those specification grade light fixtures you might have installed. It's an LED retrofit kit that fits in their surface flange and grid mount troffers, improves the life of it, saves energy, gives you better lighting. What more can you ask for?
The American Champ, Kurtzon.com, the champions of American-made lighting. Made right, Chicago, Illinois, right?
Chicago, Illinois, right in the center.
I think we need to take a little trip down to see Andrew Koch and hang out and see his factory. What do you think?
I think that's coming up.
Rolling hot. So go to Kurtzon.com. That's KURTZON.com. Specification grade, the American Champ, Kurtzon. And of course, every episode of the Get a Grip on Lighting podcast is in association with the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors. That's from the Department of Redundancy Department. NAILD.org, baby, nail.org as our official sponsor. You should join us. Come to our convention in Reno, Nevada, the biggest, littlest convention. What is it? The biggest little convention in the world? What are they calling it?
I think that's it, because the city is the biggest little city in the world, or in the, I don't know what it is, but Reno.
Like
go to
that.
Reno. Check
Go
it
to
out.
Reno in April. We'll give you more information about it. Come hang out with us. I'm actually excited. I've never been to Reno. I'm excited to go there. It sounds like a fun town, like a mini Vegas. So we're gonna hang out there for a couple days. Come on down and join us. And of course, we thank Randy Reid, the editor of the Edison Report, who's been very gracious with us over the years on this show and posts all our episodes on his site. The best lighting website around is Edison Report. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. They've got all the news when you need it. Stay in touch.
And finally, guys, I'm putting out my own podcast, getagriponlife.com. That's right. I paid a lot of money for that URL, so please go there to getagriponlife.com. Check out my podcast on general interest, man, on life. I'm coming for Joe Rogan, so I want to go on his show. So I'm putting out my own podcast, 3 a week. That's right, 3 episodes a week, man. Holy macaroni, right here in this studio. Greg doesn't want to join me. He's too lazy. He's too interested. He's too much of a lighting dork. But hey, folks.
It's hardcore.
It's hardcore. Thank you for listening. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. We're everywhere. We are everywhere you listen to quality podcasts. So thank you for listening. Bye for now.
Yep. All right, so that'll be next.
Written on the rectory wall, there's a sign there for all. You are lost, Lord is there to find you.